Will they or won't they?
Welcome back. No vas a creer lo que pasó en el gym el otro día.
Cuéntame.
Esta bella Miss Lady, y no vas a creer lo que hizo ella. Estábamos todos ahí chismoseando. Ella se metió con mi hombre, con mi macho.
Mentira.
No vas a creerlo, pero sí. Se pasó.
Think about it. When was the last time you made a new friend at a bar?
I make a lot of friends at those clubs where the people take their clothes off.
Well, that's different. Let's talk about a regular bar.
Oh.
But compare that to how many connections you've made at a gym or your local fitness studio.
Are gyms the new social clubs?
I believe that they are.
Let's find out.
People used to go to churches, bars, any type of local hangouts, but now they're finding that sense of belonging in fitness centers and Pilates studios and wellness little hubs in their neighborhood.
Yeah, and we see it all the time here. We see people come for their workout and they'll even show up earlier and leave later just so they could talk with people, hang out a little more.
And I'll go even like further to say that it's the main reason why people stay. It's, they come in because they have their fitness goals, but the reason they stay is because of that community. It's so much more powerful than, I'm losing weight and I'm seeing results. And we're gonna go deep into why that is and how that can be so beneficial.
Agreed, and I think that's why you see so many gyms trying to push it and like market like, our community, this and that, and they all kind of brag about it. But at the end of the day, if you're a part of that community, you know it's true.
Yes, and I would also argue that a lot of them use it as a marketing tactic, but very few can actually build a strong community, and part of that is the business model or the way that they run things. So we'll definitely talk about that.
Let's get into it. We're back from the mountains. Your favorite brothers, favorite podcasters, Victor and Julian.
The view is much better.
The view is beautiful here.
This dying
plant, dump, forehead, beautiful.
Forehead was there, but
we're here at Beef Miami Lakes, in case you haven't heard.
So since we own a gym, or a fitness studio, I should say, how have we fostered that sense of community, and how did we do that deliberately? Did it happen organically? Was it a little bit of both? What would you say?
I think it was all organic, and we didn't start realizing that the community was such a strong selling point until we started doing our research on the marketing and research on why people actually keep coming back. I think that's when we finally realized, like, hey, this is much more than just a place people come, get a workout, and leave.
For me, it wasn't so much about doing research, it was just seeing it with my own eyes.
Noticing it.
I would see that the people that are more consistent, especially when it comes to group training, were the ones that had built those bonds, that had friendships, that held each other accountable. Hey, why didn't you come to the Tuesday class this week? So I started noticing, there's something here. The more that people are bonded together and like bought in, the more that they are consistent, they enjoy coming, they're less likely to talk themselves out of a workout.
Yep.
Like you would have to, like you usually do when you have to work out on your own.
Yeah, and it's something that, like you said, we noticed naturally. The people that would just hang out and they would just linger, and some people stay. Their class is done at 8:30. They're here till 9:30. They're here till 10. Like either talking with somebody or an achievement, which is gossip if you're not part of Miami lingo. And I think that's such a powerful thing because, like you said, it's the thing that keeps you coming back. It's it's Monday. I don't feel like getting up, but my friends. It's like going to school. It's like when you go into school and it's like, my best friends are gonna be there. If your friend's sick that day, that's a shitty school day.
Yeah, for sure. You can pretty much handle any situation if you're with your friends.
Exactly.
Or somebody you enjoy.
And the gym is not an easy situation for a lot of people. So
yeah, but I'm proud to say that we do make it a lot more enjoyable. It's not something that, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not something that most of our members dread going to because of the fact that they enjoy so many aspects of it. And then it's like, now you learn to enjoy like even the pain and discomfort of doing Bulgarians.
Yeah, you have the camaraderie of your fellow torturee, your co-trainer, and then your actual trainer forms a lot of relationships too with the people. At least here we do.
Yeah, and one of the things I want to talk about, because I think saying gym is too broad. Like, for example, I don't think that you going to a Planet Fitness are going to go there and make a bunch of friends.
Oh, no.
As a matter of fact, people go there with headphones on. They don't want to be bothered for the most part.
If you go up to them, they're going to be upset.
It's just not that kind of environment.
Yeah.
We have deliberately, there are certain places where if you're doing a class, for example, that's an hour long and you go at the same time, you're going to naturally build bonds with the people that are doing these classes. So I think even some of these other gyms that are popped up or franchises, they have a model where it's like a revolving door, right? You come in, you do this, and that. There's no time to talk. The music is really loud, which is cool in its own way, but I think it's harder to build community that way.
And I think those, like the people that are like, I have friends, there's the people you come in with. It's not like I didn't meet you at this little,
And if you do, it's like you say a few words before or after the class, and that's all the time you get.
yeah, you're not getting invited to the child's birthday party.
And the other thing too is they don't rest in some of those, so there's literally no
How are you gonna
time.
talk? How are you gonna talk?
Yeah, like
Hey,
that's
how was your weekend?
that's one of the things that we do that was not intentional. Is we just built a good science-based program where you have to rest in between sets, and then in that rest interval, the coach engages the members. The members start talking to each other. You start building rapport, and
Yeah.
that's where those connections are made.
Yeah, people naturally, ask about each other's weekend, about how their kids are doing, if a hot dog is a sandwich, all these things that we get into in here. I feel like that's just a great way to build rapport and build like these relationships.
Is it though? Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Comment below.
It's closer to a taco than it is a sandwich. Sandwich has verticality.
Hot take. Tampoco la vida soltero. Some examples that we've seen here at BeFit is some of the classes that have this connection where they've even started group chats together. They hang out outside of the gym. They make plans and do things together.
They go on silly walks together.
They go on silly walks. And so that shows you that it's not like this forced thing that it's
Like,
just came out organically. It's like I like these people genuinely, and they become actual friends.
Yeah,
And
it's not like
groups-
it's not. Sorry to interrupt. It's not like BS small talk that you're like dreading. Like, oh, this person's asking me like, oh, how are you doing? Good, and you? Good. Anyway, no, it's like genuine. Like you said, they text each other. They're talking on weekends. If
Some of
somebody
them
doesn't
go on
reply,
some of them go on a group runs on like Sunday morning, like cycles.
yeah,
But again, it's easier to do when you have 2 or 3 good friends that you're doing it with. And I think again that's something that is a little bit more deliberate in the way that we do things, because I think we attract a specific type of person, and that's key to
Weird.
like that's why yeah, for sure. That's why niche communities are important, because you're more likely to find somebody that's like you if you go to a specific type of gym, like whether it's a Pilates studio or
Yep.
it's yoga, or you're gonna find similar people there. It's not, and sure, we have people from all walks of life and all different ages, but there's something that bonds them together in interest
Yep.
or personality or whatever that will bring them to a place like this.
and in here it's definitely the personality type is definitely like a quirky, more down to earth, not competitive. Like these are just people that have similar goals, whether it be
Don't
to get
take
stronger,
themselves
lose
too
weight.
serious.
They don't take themselves too seriously. They don't have that whole Miami minutia lifestyle. Like we're not like, if you're a brickle girly as they call them.
Oh,
You're probably
is that
not
what
gonna.
they call them?
That's what they call them. That's what I call them. You're probably not gonna fit in here if you're one of those that's like, hoity-toity, and I have to be in my Mercedes, and I have to be with my Stanley Cup, and I have to be there, like, like,
Shots fired. This guy is
hey,
calling
me.
people out today.
I'm always calling people out.
Emma has a Stanley Cup.
Emma's a hoity-toity girl. Emma
Probably
can't-
doesn't though.
Emma rode it on a horse here though.
Emma probably doesn't. Probably got the like Amazon version of it.
Oh, that's just offensive.
Um,
Emma has yet now.
it's good though. I
Yet now.
respect that more.
We respect you, Emma.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because when I go to those other gyms,
You feel like an
I feel
outcast.
completely out
Me
of place.
too,
So
me
even though I
too.
own a gym and I'm like so used to like being in a gym, but I go to those places and I'm like, wow, I really don't fit in here.
That was me the last time I went to. I don't remember where it was. And
go
everybody,
places?
no, I didn't go. This was a
Okay.
this was a workshop that I went eons ago. And in the beginning, everybody's mingling, talking about like,
My overhead
whatever.
squat.
Yeah, I was doing this and that. I'm there in the corner, like, oh man, I just want to like,
You guys work out?
yeah, I want to talk about jokes and stuff. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's another interesting thing about BeFit is that we're not so much a like gym culture gym, if that makes sense. If you sit here and listen to the conversations, you would never think that, that's a gym.
Nobody's
That's
talking about their
that's in a
squat.
gym.
Nobody's
No.
talking about their heaviest squat. Like,
But I think that's kind of what makes it fun.
100%. You're already doing the work. You don't have to like involve yourself unless you're like an exercise professional. Which, let's be honest, if you're coming to a small gym, you're probably not. You don't have to be into like that. Your life doesn't have to revolve around.
Is that why a lot of people didn't have interest in my kettlebell workshop?
That's exactly why. Now, if you did a joke
like,
workshop,
I don't care.
If you did a whoopee cushion workshop,
I need
I'm
to
sure
get
you'd
better
get.
at this.
You probably have a lot more.
A whoopee cushion, okay.
I'd show up.
Whether it's fitness or not, people thrive in environments where they feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves.
Go on.
Deep, huh? That was deep. Let it simmer.
Okay.
Let it marinate.
Just look at them for a second. If you're an audio listener, we're staring at the camera right now. Okay.
Think about it, whether
Yeah.
you're working for a startup or something like that, where you have a mission, you are all working together. The conditions could be crappy, let's face it. Many startups and places like that, or let's say, you're working really hard on something, but you're doing it as a team, as a group. You believe in either the mission or you really enjoy that connection, that community. You're gonna foster those bonds naturally.
And I think that's really important. Like what you said is if you value the work you're doing or if you value the relationship, it's gonna make it a lot easier. Because one thing I don't like is when you go to a place and it's fine to have a little competition when everybody's competing against each other and not
It's
just
more individualistic.
yeah. I'm not talking about exercise. I mean you're competing with, oh look what this girl came in wearing today, or oh my god look at this guy's form on that exercise. Like these things are type of things that just don't happen here. And like you said, I don't know if that's something that we fostered on purpose or just something that kind of happened, but we don't have that kind of community. Our community is very uplifting. It's something I tell anybody when they come in and they're a little scared to join a gym because, oh, I don't know anybody. Like everybody's very welcoming. Everybody's very accepting. Like it's just, and like you said, that culminates into overall a better work.
That allows you to not have your defenses up.
Definitely.
And let's face it, part of the big problem, I would say, epidemic in society these days is that people are very lonely. They've kind of, post-pandemic world, post all this technology, and they're just segregated, kind of alone, and they have a longing for community. So I think it's so important in this day and age, and we've seen it. We saw it post-COVID, like literally as soon as they opened up gyms again, everybody flooded back in.
Let me in.
Because they realize that isolation, it's anti-human. We're very social creatures.
It's depressing. It brings you down. And then that's a slippery slope, especially when it comes to exercise. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling like lonely, you don't want to go out and exert yourself, which is something.
And even if you do work out on your own, it's still like kind of a lonely pursuit. You have to motivate yourself to get up, go out and do it yourself. And
it's not just once; it's a consistent thing.
Push yourself. Even though you're tired and you get to 10 reps, you have to convince yourself to do it. That's so much harder than if you're in a group of people that are also suffering with you.
Yeah, I just had somebody go through that because she moved away and she was telling me like, oh, I'm going crazy without my workouts and I can't. She literally said like I can't do it by myself. I don't know how to push myself like that. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's part of the reasons they were here in the first place.
Yep.
I once heard a podcast from somebody who was a veteran and he had been in a few wars, and it was really interesting what he said about the camaraderie and the bonds that he built with his platoon. Even though they were doing something that is terrible, some of the people died, but he said that he looks back and it was like just one of the more powerful, one of the most impactful. Like they all still are like brothers to this day, and there's something to be said about suffering together, like a team. Same could be said for like team sports. Like people look back on like their football days or their volleyball days, and it's like we were on a mission, we were suffering, we took hard losses, and obviously that's an extreme example, but I think it highlights at a more extreme level what people see at like fitness centers, because you are suffering together.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not easy. What you're doing is not easy.
I think it's because it's not easy that it's
exactly.
better.
It's an extreme example, but it is comparable. You're with a group of people. You're trying to. You have a goal, whether that be a war or a war against hypertrophy, whatever it may be. You're trying
or against obesity.
War against obesity. That's a better one. You're trying to. You have a common objective, and you're all trying to help each other. You're not trying to put each other down. So like you said, that's a super powerful thing.
And that's compared to like traditional social clubs, right? Whether it be a bar or a church or something like that.
Ham club.
I would venture to say that, let's say it's a bar, right? And you go out and you have fun and you have drinks and this and that. I would say that the suffering and things like that bonds you more than just going out and having fun with people. As enjoyable as that is, which it is enjoyable. But if we look back and let's say we grew up together, our 20s, how many of the friends that we just had fun with do we still keep in touch with? It's not that many.
Yeah, you don't form those deep bonds.
Exactly. But the ones that you like do something difficult with or open up and share something difficult, like that's what bonds people.
Yeah, because when you come here also, it's not like you're not just, we say, you're shooting the shit. But if you're going through something, you do tend to be more open when they're like,
it does come out.
Oh, like I wasn't here last week because I was going through this and this. Like I had somebody in my family that was sick, blah, blah, blah. And the people here care about you genuinely. And they'll text you, they'll reach out to you, they'll make sure you're okay. And then, maybe like, hey, let's go out, let's do something to get your mind off it. Like you said, those deep bonds and that connection is so much deeper than somebody just go out with and like, hey, we're both drunk, let's sing a karaoke song together. That's
more
that's
escapism.
shallow. Yeah, that's just a shallow relationship.
Exactly. The other thing that bonds people is having a shared goal. Like we are, at the end of the day, you come here because you have a mission, you have an objective, you have something that you're striving towards.
Yeah, rarely do people come in like, oh, I want to be part of a social club.
Or they're walking by like, oh, I'm just going to join this gym.
Yeah, these people look cool. Let me go interact and make friends with them. No, like you come originally.
Yeah, so then you get a group of people and you all have the same goal of becoming more fit, more consistent, maybe losing some weight, gaining some muscle, getting stronger. You have these shared goals, and those goals coupled with the fact that you're suffering together, that just like solidifies the bond.
Yeah, it's something we always say, like, if you're trying to make more money, hang out with people that are already making more money. It's all these things that, like, if you have that same objective, that, like you said, it solidifies.
As
the
opposed to
relationship.
just being in a room full of random people. One
Yeah.
could be, let's go with the money example. You're with like a lazy slob and somebody else who, is a trust fund baby, and it's like, you don't have
It's like a
that,
group project.
Yeah,
It's like
you
a
don't
forced
have-
group project
exactly.
that you got to pull this guy's dead weight and this guy's doing all the work, and like that imbalance causes disputes. It causes like some resentment.
No,
in
and
the
you're
group.
just not gonna make progress.
Yeah.
Not as much.
Yeah,
anyway.
definitely.
And this is why we do fitness challenges. One of the big reasons is that we get all those people, and now they're already in a community, but now we get them in like a way more focused community
Yeah.
for a finite amount of time. And now all of a sudden, it's like everything gets accelerated.
Gets
The results
yeah,
get accelerated, the
multiplied.
bonds get accelerated.
Put them in the pot and
because
put them in a
again,
group
now
chat
we're
and
all
everything.
trying to. Yes, there's some competition because you're trying to win the challenge, but
Yeah.
more importantly, I think you're in a group chat with people that are all meal prepping, all trying to eat healthier,
all suffering for 5 weeks or however long it may be.
Exactly. So
and
it's
you
very
know,
powerful.
Yeah, these people are in it for the same amount of time as me. Like you said, similar goal. We're all in this together, as corny as that may sound. So that definitely helps that to make those bonds a little deeper.
We've said it before on this podcast, but the hardest thing about fitness is holding yourself accountable. It's like when you get home and you're tired, and the last thing you want to do is go lift heavy weights, getting up from the couch and saying, I'm going to go lift weights. But when you have a group of people that have now become friends, whether it's the coaches or the members themselves, somebody's going to reach out. Somebody,
Yep.
hey, you didn't come to class. Like, you almost feel like an obligation to go because you know you're going to get called out. And that's super powerful.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh my God, I feel so bad I got called out. For me, it's more like you don't want to let that person down in a sense, like
And
this
let
person
yourself
was-
down.
And let yourself down. This person was looking forward to either seeing you or I was looking forward to seeing that person. It's like, I'm going to show up even if it's not for me because today I really don't feel like it. I'm going to show up because, Miguelito's there. Miguelito wanted to bench with me today.
Yeah, and you are on that mission, like we said. So, you've both agreed that we're on this mission. So if I don't show up, now I'm letting you know and everybody else know I'm not as committed. I'm not like, maybe I'm all talk or
I'm not in
whatever.
this. Yeah.
And those people tend to like weed themselves out naturally. There are, sadly people that you can't help everyone. And some people come in, they have the right intentions, but then it's just like, they don't commit. They don't integrate themselves into the community as well.
And like we said,
it
it
doesn't work.
It's one of those things that we say it all the time here is you can't force somebody to work out. There's only so much we can do as trainers or like even as a co-trainee. There's only so much you could do to get somebody in. And we have members that really try with each other. Like, man, I reached out to Miguelito and I don't know what's going on with him. He keeps dodging. Yeah. And we're like, okay, well, it's not your fault. Like, there's only so much you can do. You can't drag them into the gym with you.
For sure. And
So-
this isn't like 100% success rate either,
No,
by any means.
No.
We touched on it briefly, but let's talk about.
Sorry, I touched on you briefly too.
So? Oh,
Not bad.
I thought you were instructing me to stop.
Oh, no.
All right. We touched on it briefly, but the importance of mental health, loneliness, all these kind of things. How would you say that these communities, these gym cultures, how does that help someone with their mental health?
Oh, tremendously. I mean, even somebody like, I'm the type of person that everybody sees me, they're like, oh my God, you're so social and this and that. And the truth is, when I go home, I just want to be home. And to get me out of my house is a mission. You know that more than anyone. So I think that's a huge role because when you're home and you're comfortable, wherever it may be, it's so hard to get yourself. And if you're in a slump at home, it's so hard to tell yourself, like you said, oh, I'm going to get up and do something really hard and go lift heavy weights. So having those people reaching out to you and those people that genuinely care about you, I feel like that goes a long way into actually making you show up. And we know the benefits for your mental health that exercise can have. So if you're by yourself and you don't feel like exercising, you're a week without it, that's only going to be detrimental to your mental health. Whereas if you have somewhere that they're expecting me, they're calling me out, they're telling me to come in, that's just going to improve your success rate in all these facets.
I'm thinking about this in a more individual basis. Like, one example is you always feel better when you make the decision to get out of the house and go work out, right? Like that old cliche of you never regret a workout. And
Unless you hurt
just that simple fact of I got up, I did this, I moved my body, it feels great, and I
check
did
mark
it
on the
amongst
to-do list.
people that are great. So I think just that, let's say compare somebody who does that 4 times a week versus somebody who works from home, doesn't really hang out with friends too much because everyone's too busy. And it's just like, it compounds that loneliness, that just being by myself, that solitude. Whereas you're going out and doing things, even if it is going out and doing workouts, because let's face it, who goes out and hangs out with their friends multiple times a week. I mean, unless
It's
you're
tough.
19, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think
tough.
anybody's doing that. So it is a way to fill that void of the social connections, and which, like we said, is crucial to being human.
That's such a good point too, because like you said, you go out and let's be honest, you go out here and you have fun. So it's not like you're coming here and like, yeah, you're suffering through the workout. It's not like you're doing something easy, but you are having fun. People here are laughing probably the whole hour. So you're going out, like you said, you're interacting with people, you're doing something that's good for your mental health, for your physical health, and then you're also like having a good time on top of it. That's so rare. Whereas if you go to like you mentioned earlier, you have drinks at a bar, sure, you might be having fun, you're doing this and that, but you're drinking, which is not good for your health. So you're, this is like a combination of
All
positive
goods.
attributes. Yeah, you're having fun, you're laughing, you're working out. So like it's like a snowball effect of positive things, which at the end of the day,
Agreed.
when you leave here, you're just like in a way better mood. There's
For
no
sure,
there's no way that you're not.
100%. And we haven't even touched on the actual mental health and physical benefits of the actual exercise.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even talking about
No,
that.
which is a whole nother
a
episode
whole
that we
other
have.
thing, which, yeah, we have that. But what I wanted to riff on is how fortunate I feel that this is my job.
Yeah.
Like, people come here for an hour. I'm here all day, and I feel like it's, for me, if I didn't have this, I would have, like, for sure my mental health would suffer a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I get all those same benefits by virtue of being here and hanging out with everyone.
Yeah, and I think, like I say it all the time, like half joking, but it's kind of true. Like when I leave here, my social media is drained because I've been
the
interacting
introvert in
with
you.
people for so long. But at the same time, the days that I'm not here, I'm like, I feel that void of I didn't talk to people. It's like, have you ever played The Sims? The Sims have little bars of needs. It's like hunger, sleep, and social is one of them. So if I have those days that I don't come to work, my little social bar is like in the red.
So now imagine you being that for 3 years.
Well, I mean, during COVID, I think everybody felt it
Exactly.
strong during COVID.
That was
and-
an exaggerated example because you couldn't leave. You couldn't
Yeah.
hang out in groups. You
Yeah.
couldn't do certain things. I think it showed everyone how important those things are and how we take them for granted. We just take for granted even going to work and talking to people, even if
Yeah.
you hate your job. Like, you're still around people. Humans need to be around people.
Definitely.
So about 60 to 70% of people who listen to this podcast already go to either Be Fit or gyms like Be Fit. But what would you advise somebody who doesn't have that, who is listening to this and like, that sounds all fantastic. How do I
Join one.
Yeah, how do I join one? How do I get in on this?
Go try a class. Like that, I think that's the best thing you could tell people is you're not gonna for sure fit into the first one that it's not guaranteed that you're exactly gonna be the perfect mold for, oh my God, this CrossFit across the street from me, I'm the perfect fit, but you might be. So I think that the only way to do it is to go and try different classes, whether it's, I tried a small gym or I tried a Pilates class. I'm not sure, can you even talk during Pilates to people?
I have no idea. I've never done a class, but I
We'll be
plan
at Pilates
to.
next week. Check it out. We're
You
gonna do a
will never do
podcast
that.
live for,
If you can get this guy to do a Pilates class,
what you give
I'll
him?
give you something.
Okay, he'll give
Be
you
Fit
something.
t-shirt.
Be Fit t-shirt. I think that's the best way to do it is to just go out and try a class.
Well, yeah, you got to look in your area first and see what's around and see, do your research. And what I would look for is, let's say you're looking at their social media, it shouldn't all be just workouts and this and that. It should be, do they go on outings? Like, did they go on, some sort of social event?
Yeah.
Because that's telling you that they do have a community. If they can get people out of their gym to go out to either go do something like a hike or something, or a run, or even just like a bar or something fun, then that tells you that those people it's more than just like, okay, you come in here and you work out.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think you should also look at the personality of the social media.
True.
Whether it be like the stories and like, are they lighthearted? Is that what you want? Do you want a more competitive environment? If that's what you want, you could find somebody like that. Look at how the coaches talk or how the coaches interact in these posts and the social media settings. Is that something you're into? Do you like it to be a little more, goofy, off the wall, or do you want it to be more, like an Olympic level trainer? Like whatever you into, you could
There's
find
something out
for
there,
you.
yeah. And I think that on that note, the reason why we get those like the right people for Be
Weirdos.
Fit is that we've worked to have our social media and the things that we put out in the world reflect the kind of people that we
very
want to
honest.
attract, right?
Yeah.
So like even yesterday, I had somebody tell me, I like this place because it's more intimate, it's less intimidating, it's more welcoming than just going to a traditional gym. And I was like, that's exactly what the vibe that we go for.
Yeah, and it's not like we're on purpose like, hey, don't forget to today be goofy and non-traditional. Like, hey, don't forget to put that mask on. Where it's an honest reflection of who we are, who our trainers are, who our clients are.
Yeah, and so then look for gyms.
I mean, look at Emma. Look at that. Perfect example.
Wow.
Perfect example. Look at that weirdo.
So yeah, look for gyms that are have consciously made that, because it's not always like that. Like sometimes you have a gym where the trainers are in competition with each other,
Yep.
and there's just not that cohesive, mission-driven type of values. So you'll feel that when you go in somewhere.
And I think you can kind of like, nowadays we're getting kind of good at reading BS even over social media. So like you can tell when something's manicured, when I'm kind of like weird on this sense. If it's like too professional and like, oh, all the pictures are professional, like all the angles, like we talked about the other day, we're only putting up the people that are doing everything perfectly. Like that's not really my vibe. Like I want to go somewhere a little more honest, a little more raw, a little more, like I said, quirky.
Yeah, not as manicured.
Not as manicured, because as long as the workout is good, like, and we can attest to that, they are. So, just find somewhere you feel like you belong. That's gonna keep you coming back more than someplace with a perfect program for me. Like,
yeah, like maybe you are the type of person that doesn't want the goofiness and all that, and is a serious, like, I don't want to really talk to that many people. I want to go and I'm here to get stronger. I'm here to learn kettlebells or barbell or Olympic lifts. I'm here that's my mission. You can find a place that's mission driven like that. That's different, and there you go. Like that's your community.
And we're not saying that our community doesn't take their workout seriously, because we know people come in here and they bust their ass. So it's not, these two things don't have to coexist.
For sure.
Like they could be independent. You could have a lighthearted approach towards fitness while still getting your ass kicked and working hard.
100%.
Look at Dr. Mike Israetel, who's one of the most famous podcasters and famous like exercise scientists. He has a non-traditional, I would say, approach to how he speaks about fitness, how he interacts about it. He's a genius.
Super brilliant.
Super strong, works out hard as shit. So like there doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it's just the vibe. That's all it is.
It's a vibe, man. It's a vibe, bro.
Just learned that word, so I'm gonna use it a lot.
You just learned vibe.
So to close, I think although gyms may not replace the traditional social spaces entirely, I think they are crucial for filling a much needed void in modern life.
Agreed. Like we said in the beginning of this podcast, how often are you making new friends as an adult? Like, when you were a kid, you had school, you had the park, you had all these things that you would just go out and like meet people. Nowadays, it's becoming harder to meet people like that. So having the gym to at least like meet and form these relationships and speak to somebody, because we see people here more than we see our friends.
Way more.
To build that relationship, you see somebody 4 or 5 times a week for an hour, you build that bond, and then maybe you could take the relationship and externalize it and go to the bar, go to these more traditional social settings. But as far as making friends and forming the relationship, I think it's probably the most like important part of socializing right now.
And it's the most important part because of what you said earlier about the snowball effect of all the benefits. Like you said, it's not just like, you can go out and hang out with your friends and ruin your body for the night by doing it. And God knows we've all been there, but some more than others. But this is just good, stacked on top of good.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you want to get healthy, you want to be fit, you want to get stronger, but then you're also getting the social aspect of it. Like, where's the negative?
Where do I sign up?
It's just win.
Yeah. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed this very social episode of the Be Fit Brothers podcast. We'll be back next week at the bar. We're going to do a different location every week. So
join us at
stay tuned.
Cheese Friday, 8 a.m. at Be Fit, featuring Isis Valle.
The Queen of Cheese, May. Quick, say something funny.